How to treat ADHD in teens. Raising any teenager is hard, but raising a teenager with attention deficit hyperactive disorder (ADHD) has even more challenges. Teenagers with ADHD have a hard time learning and following instructions. Tasks that may be simple for their peers can be a real struggle. It is important to remember that a teenager with ADHD is not trying to make life harder. Indeed, for him or her, the substantial challenges that their peers contend with may already be much more difficult. With some compassion and knowledge, however, you can help a teen deal with the challenges of ADHD. Your efforts can help him or her overcome life's challenges and succeed in the face of adversity. Recognizing ADHD. Look for difficulty paying attention. There are two components to ADHD. For children under the age of 17, at least 6 of these must be present for an ADHD diagnosis. The first set of symptoms deal with an inability to pay attention or focus. A child with an attention disorder will exhibit the following symptoms. Makes careless mistakes, is inattentive to detail. Has trouble paying attention, tasks, playing, doesn't seem to be paying attention when someone is talking to him or her. Doesn't follow through, homework, chores, jobs, easily sidetracked. Is organizationally challenged. Avoids tasks requiring sustained focus like schoolwork, can't keep track of or often loses keys, glasses, papers, tools, etc. Is easily distracted. Is forgetful. Watch for hyperactivity. The other category of symptoms related to ADHD suggests hyperactivity or a lack of impulse control. People with ADHD must display 6 or more of the following. Fidgety, squirmy, taps hands or feet. Runs, climbs inappropriately or feels restless. Struggles to play quietly, do quiet activities. On the go, as if driven by a motor. Excessive talking. Blurts out answers before questions are asked. Struggles to wait for his or her turn. Interrupts others, inserts self into others' discussions, games. Learn the causes of ADHD. The brains of persons with ADHD are slightly different than others. Specifically, 2 structures tend to be smaller, the basal ganglia and the prefrontal cortex. The basal ganglia regulates the movement of muscles. It signals which should be working and which should be at rest during given activities. 4. If a child is sitting at his desk in the classroom, the basal ganglia should send a message telling the feet to rest. In the case of ADHD, the feet may not get the message. They often remain in motion when a child with ADHD is seated. A deficiency of the basal ganglia often can also cause fidgety hand movements or pencil tapping. The prefrontal cortex is the brain's hub for conducting higher-order tasks. 5. It is where memory and learning and attention regulation come together to help us function intellectually. 6. 7. The prefrontal cortex influences the level of the neurotransmitter dopamine. 8. Dopamine is tied to the ability to focus and tends to be at lower levels in persons with ADHD. 9. 10. Serotonin is another neurotransmitter found in the prefrontal cortex. 11. It impacts mood, sleep, and appetite. Eating chocolate, for instance, spikes serotonin, causing a temporary feeling of well-being. When serotonin drops low, however, depression and anxiety result. 12. A smaller prefrontal cortex with lower dopamine and serotonin means greater struggles to focus. 13. As a result, persons with ADHD struggle to focus on a single thing at a time, and are more easily distracted. 14. The prefrontal cortex is still in development through late adolescence. This can make the perceived deficiencies for adolescents with ADHD even more severe. 15. Look out for other common problems. ADHD often occurs alongside other mental health problems. Specifically, 1 out of every 5 with ADHD is diagnosed with another serious disorder, such as depression and bipolar disorder are common partners. 1/3 of children with ADHD also have a behavioral disorder, such as conduct disorder or oppositional defiance disorder. 16. ADHD also tends to pair up with learning disabilities and anxiety. 17. Get a diagnosis. If your teen displays many of these traits, you should see a doctor to get a professional opinion. Knowing whether ADHD might be the cause of the challenges your teen faces will make it easier to move forward.